This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Audible.com. Get your free audiobook at audiblepodcast.com/TYT.
The GOP has come out with a new letter that they have sent to the Democratic leadership saying, you know what, until we cut taxes and deal with the budget that has to get passed, we're going to filibuster everything. Now, this is interesting for a couple of reasons. One, it's because they just had the bipartisan meeting at the White House. Remember the one I said Obama shouldn't even do because these guys are not honest actors? But Obama was like, oh, no. After the Republicans slapped him in the face and canceled the first one, Obama invited them again. They came in and they pretended to have a conversation. The very next day, they come out and say, yeah, we're filibustering everything across the board. Hey, Mr. President, how's that bipartisanship thing working out for you? Any day now, you're going to get the Republicans to be bipartisan, right? Right around the corner. You keep waiting for it. See what comes out of that corner. Okay? So they said, no, of course. You like the first one? Here's the second one. Wasikted. And what's the president going to do now? You know what he's in the middle of right now? They have bipartisan meetings on tax cuts so they can come to a compromise. In the middle, and what Obama said was, and Geithner said, because Geithner's involved in those meetings, is, okay, while we're doing these meetings, let's make sure that we don't fight in the press, and let's try to come up with a constructive solution. And the Republicans are like, oh, absolutely, no fighting in the press. Give him the letter, come on, yeah, filibuster everything. What happened now? No fighting, yeah, no, what? I just hit you with a chair in the back of the head, what do you mean? Okay, so, Mr. Obama, what are you going to do about it? There's another one right across the face. Now, the second reason I'm amused by this, they're going to filibuster everything. Oh, really? And that would be different than yesterday. How? like I love this is big news. Like, oh, did you hear the Republicans are going to filibuster? Yeah, of course, they filibuster everything every day, right? Like, oh wow, is everything going to be okay? Wow, Republicans are being obstructionists. This just in. No, that was in 2 years ago. All right, look, the one part of this that is relevant is, and the reason they're doing this is because they want to defeat the DREAM Act, which is about immigration, of course, and they want to defeat the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, along with a couple of other proposals. And so what they want to do is say, oh, no, we got to deal with the tax cut issue first because they know that's the hardest issue, and that's going to take the longest amount of time. They're trying to run out the clock. Otherwise, Reid could come in and say, all right, let's do DREAM Act, while we're working and negotiating on the tax cuts. But the Republicans don't want that. They want to take their sweet time so they can get their new Congress in and kill the DREAM Act and kill the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Look, from a political perspective, that's smart. Let's see how the Democrats handle it. Now, the thing is, I know how they're going to handle it. There's no way they're going to do it right, and I'll tell you why. Okay, because there is a correct way of handling this. What you do is you come out and say, oh, they're fantastic. Oh, you want to filibuster everything? Great, let's do it. Am I supposed to listen to you? No, I'm bringing up the DREAM Act today, and I'm bringing out the repeal tomorrow, okay? You want to filibuster it, have at it, Hoss. And I'm going to go on TV, and I'm going to go to every newspaper, and I'm going to scream from the rooftops, these are the guys who don't want immigrants who have worked really hard to get good grades or that want to serve our country in the military. They don't want them to serve. I guess they're against the troops. The troops need backup. People are willing to sign up for the Army, but these guys are going to stop them. We got these people who worked hard, got great GPA, et cetera, want to be part of this country, have been contributing all this time, but no, the Republicans are going to stop them. Hey, Latinos, did you see what the Republicans just did? They just spit in your eye. Let's have at it, Hoss. You want a filibuster? Bring it, right? Don't ask, don't tell. Over 70% of the country and over 70% of the military is in favor of repealing it. Democrats, what are you scared of? Let them filibuster and then take a sledgehammer to them. That's how you do politics. But you know the Democrats aren't going to do it because they've lost sight of how to play this game. I don't think that they even realize that's a possibility. Right now, I think the only thing that's under discussion is how do we move these things back to accommodate the Republicans? Because, otherwise we won't be able to bring them up and they won't pass. Look, I want them to pass desperately, right? The legislation that I'm in favor of. But I think the way you get them to pass is by putting political pressure on. So if you lose in the short run, that sucks, but I can live with it if you're playing the right long-run game. But these guys have no long-run game. So they're like, oh my God, if it's not going to pass, okay, let's not put it up then. No, put it up. Now, meanwhile, last thing on this, the Democrats are coming out. Now this is, what, the fourth day in a row I read a story about Democrats in the Senate and House saying, no, that's it. We're going to put up the middle-class tax cuts, and that's all. And if the Republicans want to vote against it, great. They will do that. They will. Before they immediately buckle and do a compromise. So don't, if you see those stories, I'm just giving you a heads up. Don't pay any attention to them, okay? It's nonsense theater. And I tell you, today's, there was a huge, oh, here it is. Look at this Associated Press headline. Democrats look to call GOP's bluff with Bush tax cuts vote. I saw it and I was like, oh, come on, right? But I'm like, all right, I'm game. I'll read the article. I read the article, and at the end, of course, they're like, oh, they're going to bring it up for a vote, and then after they lose, they will stop and compromise and give the Republicans what they want. Oh, stop wasting my time, man. Stop wasting my time. All right. As always, I could be proven wrong on any given day. And I can't wait for that day when the Democrats come back and call their bluff, say we're going to stand up for the middle class, and we're coming for them, right? Anna, we got a new sponsor, audible.com. Go.
I love audible.com because they have over 75,000 titles to choose from, and you can download on both your iPod or your MP3 player.
They're actually the largest provider of downloadable digital audiobooks, so you can choose any book you like. And if you go through us, you actually get a free audiobook of your choice, which is a pretty good deal. So go to audiblepodcast.com/TYT.